Hi everyone, I'm Chris Chapman. I'm the Cloud Practice Lead here at PMsquare. Today, we're going to extend our conversation on Gartner's total experience and specifically focus on what that means for the healthcare space. Digital experience has become a critical factor in driving business growth, customer loyalty, and employee satisfaction. It encompasses not only customer experience, but also employee experience, a multi-experience, and user experience. While many organizations recognize the importance of digital experience and have dedicated resources to improving it, there remains a significant perception gap between consumer expectations and the actual experiences provided by the companies in various industries. For example, according to Gardner, 73% of consumers say experience is crucial in their buying decisions, but only 49% of those consumers think companies are actually delivering on positive experiences. And despite this focus on customer experience, it's clear many businesses still struggle to deliver consistent, satisfying experiences. This gap stems from several factors, including an overemphasis on customers at the expense of employees, underdeveloped multi-experience approaches, pandemic-induced shifts in work and consumer behavior, and siloed organizational structures. To bridge this gap and drive success, companies must adopt a holistic approach to digital experience that addresses the needs of all stakeholders, consumers, customers, employees, and users alike. And this should be across various platforms and modalities, not just one. This holistic approach is the framework for Gartner's total experience. So what exactly is total experience? Well, this is a refresher. You can think about like a perfectly orchestrated symphony where all the key players come together across customer, employee, user, multi-experience, and they're not just running in their own lane, but they're working together to create a perfect harmony of music. And the cool thing about total experience strategy is that it creates a smooth journey for everyone who interacts with your brand. So whether they're customers or employees, partners, contractors, they all get the same great experience. What it really boils down to is about flexibility. Your users can interact with your brand however they want, whether they prefer scrolling on a website, or they're on the go with their mobile app, whether they're a back office worker or a brand new customer. They're able to get that same great experience no matter where they are or what they're doing. And that's the point of total experience. It has you covered no matter how you choose. Your customers are covered no matter how they choose to engage. And one industry that has always struggled with creating positive digital experiences for all user types is healthcare. Whether the doctors, nurse, administrators, patients, digital experiences in this industry has always been lacking. I think we can all share similar experience and examples, struggling to navigate a patient portal to find certain information, view lab results, manage appointments, or navigate opaque online billing systems. But it doesn't have to be this way. Using the framework of total experience in the healthcare space can have real, tangible outcomes in the real world. So having a familiar, inviting, intuitive experience across different personas can lead to more efficient use of these systems. Doctors and nurses don't have to spend extra time net hunting and searching for the right information, or hunting and searching where to put new information. Patients will be empowered to use their system and take more ownership of their healthcare journey. And all of this can lead to the primary goal, which is positive health outcomes for patients. At PMsquare, we are constantly thinking about how we can help our clients improve their own brand's digital experience. One example of this in the healthcare space is SimAI, which this is an art of the possible style demo created by our talented iLab team that focuses on leveraging a well thought out and intuitive user experience for the healthcare space that is backed by Gen AI. So let's take a look at this, and we'll look at two different personas, two different ways of accessing the system. It's going to be the doctor and also from the patient view. And we can see the design choices that we've made between these two and how both users will interact, which will be different but also familiar. So here's SimAI. This example, this is a list of patients the doctor might see. The point of this demonstration is thinking more along the lines of a primary care doctor that'll have to go through a number of patients a day and trying to help them expedite that. probably say this a little later, but the goal here is to not replace the doctor. It's not possible today, not what we're trying to do today, but we want to augment them. We'll make them more efficient, quicker at their jobs, so that they can give more quality care to more patients. We'll click on one patient. So we'll click Steve. We'll take a look at their information. See right off the bat, this nice, bright, colorful UI with a lot of care and thought has gone into the key information that we're surfacing right away. So on the right here, you can see we have the patient name, obviously, with some basic information about their age and contact info, also key vital information that we'll be able to see, height, weight, BMI, just quick hit information that the doctor can get access to. At the bottom, so we're going to have some more static report style data. So we can see their latest lab reports, so we can scroll through that over time. We can view that data. Very easy to see if we have any outliers. So here, carbon dioxide levels very low in this. You might see some, it's all sample data, so you might see some lab results that may not make sense, but this is all just this sample pretend data we're looking at. And we can further go through and look through some of this information, so we can see all of the medication that they've been prescribed, what they're currently taking, what they've stopped taking. Look at allergies. No allergies for Steve, lucky him. I know I've got a few that I have to manage and deal with. And then immunization records, so we can see if they're still up to date on all those records. We mentioned this was backed by AI. So the AI features here is at the top of the screen. What this will look to do is we click this generate health profile from SimAI. What this is using on the back end is, for those familiar with the space, is Anthropic's Claude. So that's the LLM that's doing the heavy lifting here of creating the summary. The goal here is to give that quick summary information of the patient health records. And so what we're actually doing is we're ingesting all of this patient's healthcare information that we have in the form of electronic records, and we're having Claude synthesize it and summarize it into this short paragraph. And this could be expanded upon or even condensed further down depending on the use case and the doctor's needs. But here you can see 49-year-old male, history of hypertension. It goes into all of the details that we're able to pull from that information. Again, quick information that the doctor can get without having to go through past notes, past records, and summarize it themselves. They can let the system do it for them. That's on the summary tab. If we go to the preventive measures tab, this is going to go a little further. It's going to take that same information, but it's going to look to create certain care plans and certain preventative steps that the patient can take to have better health outcomes. And so here we can see it's suggesting that they should exercise regularly to manage chronic back pain. For hypertension, it suggests some new diet approaches, suggesting to quit smoking. It's an easy one. And then some suggestions around blood pressure management. You say we're not just throwing this out, these suggestions out, and having the doctor assume, are these wrong? We're also footnoting these, so we're showing where we're getting this recommendation from, or where the model is pulling this recommendation from, why it's giving an answer. So we're citing it as well, so the doctor knows that there is something behind it, and it's not a hallucination or something the model's just fabricating. And again, this is not to take, and the reason we're giving the menu of options here is not to replace the doctor. It's to give the doctor just more information so they can make, again, quicker, more reliable recommendations to patients during the course of their visit. So that's on the doctor side. Now, if we look at the patient side, we can see here already very similar look and feel. When we move to the patient side, this is different, and we'll go through some of the reasons there, but it looks familiar. It looks similar. We didn't reinvent the wheel. There isn't a whole new design language that we implemented. We kept the core design language from the doctor, and we kept that through line into the patient. We've done that for a few reasons. One, should the patient sit down and have questions, and they need help either navigating the system or getting information. The doctor or another front office administrator, they're going to be able to walk them through that fairly easily because it's the same system, same design that the doctor or the administrator is used to navigating. Same with the patient. They're not going to have to retrain their brain and think through what they're looking at. They'll be able to quickly and easily be able to guide that patient. We'd have, while the doctor, obviously, you can see there's a much more robust data set. That's by design. For the patient, we took a different approach. That this goes into some of those different experiences. There's multiple experiences of the patient, that we want to surface, and specifically for the patient. So a lot of this thinking is, what is the patient going to be most wanting to know? So in this case, obviously, what are their current active care plans? What should they be focusing on most? That we wanted that to be front and center. What has already been prescribed to them? Who's on their care team? What doctors are overseeing their care? What facilities are they currently enrolled in and are going to? And where are these doctors stationed? But then we do want to provide some of that. So obviously, the current medications they should be taking, we want to surface that. And then lab reports. That's information that all patients need, all patients want to see. We see here, same information, goes down to that same design language, right? We did not reinvent the wheel here. This is all the same design from one to another. And while in the doctor, we have the summary, we're leveraging Genet differently. In this, it is designed to be a summary tool, be able to condense huge amounts of information in the bite-sized chunks the doctor can make actionable. For the patient, this was a different experience that we look to have, which was using a chatbot style experience. And for this, really wanted to facilitate this instead of having the patient have to go hunt around and look for information. While it is very easy to get through here and find out what your care plans are, and we try to surface that, for this, we want to show what would be possible is if there was a chat experience where the patient could just use natural language to ask basic questions that they had. So here we have on our right, to supplement the information that we're presenting in the core dashboard, we have our chatbot. And so we can ask in here, the chatbot is telling you what information can be retrieved. This is also carefully by design. We want to eliminate any chance of hallucinations with this. And so for this, we're very much restricting that the patient can only ask information that is within the medical records that we have for them. We don't want to go and start asking for, what should I take to cure my fever? Or what's the best lasagna recipe? We want to make it very clear that these are the only things that you can ask it for, to eliminate any kind of risk that the patient may be given any incorrect information. So we can look here, if we wanted to see the current preventive care plans, we'll ask it. That query will be sent to the model. The model will go and retrieve that from the medical records that we have stored about this patient. So here, model provided the results. Here's the preventive measures. They're based on medical. So it's going to be a little bit of what we saw with the doctor, just in a different approach. Here, giving it the chatbot is talking to the patient, giving details around what they should be doing and what they found within their existing care plans. We can go in other inquiries. So if we don't want to go through our vitals, we have a lot of lab reports. We could go look through here. So I know one of the things I think for Steve was to manage cholesterol. So we can ask for the latest lipid panel. So again, this is a way that, the chatbot is this other experience. Instead of just having endless hierarchies, endless files the patient has to navigate, we have a series of questions and a user flow just contained within the chatbot that allows the user to get to what they want in a more natural way, a more interactive way, instead of that sea of menus and selections. So here, based on medical records, it's giving the latest results from August and what those results were. And so that's a quick overview of SIMA and some of the design choices we made with it. So as you can see, not all healthcare apps are created equal and need to be adhering to a certain design philosophy. They can look and feel just as natural as any consumer-facing app. And the experience with them also don't have to be constrained to archaic menus and endless clicks to find what they want. They can incorporate modern design language as well as modern technologies like Gen AI to facilitate retrieval information and the navigation of some of the systems. So users don't even need to necessarily be experts, and they can leverage the modern tools that are available to them. That concludes a demonstration for today. I hope that was helpful as a showcase of total experience through the lens of healthcare application. Again, it doesn't have to always be the same experience that we're used to. Thinking outside the box and having a total experience mindset can really open the door to new experiences that can be had in the healthcare space. So thank you again for joining us in the video. Please check out our others on our channel, and we will talk to you on the next one. Thanks.